All right, you're live.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Mobile App Coaching. My name is Glenn, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. In the background, we have every Friday, Koo is in the background, as my producer this morning, this afternoon. If you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Last trading day of the week. Friday is here. The weekend is here. Father's Day is here. A lot of stuff going on. How about that? As well as you know, there's always a lot of stuff going on in the market. We're going to talk about what's going on in the market. We're going to show you how to use the power of the VectorVest program in your pocket to make the right decisions while you're out and about doing things. All right. So that's what it's all about. That's why you're here. And that's why I'm here. All right. To show you that this software, outside of just being a desktop version of the software, the mobile app is a powerful tool to be able to help you. And I'll do everything in the mobile app. I won't touch the desktop at all. It's all about the mobile app. As you can see, I'm using an iPad. All right. There's my iPad. I just want you all to know it's all about the app. All right, so Pneumatic, man, I haven't seen you in a minute unless you just haven't been talking. Man, thank you for being here. Everybody who's here, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I do appreciate that. I did the Jockey Club this morning. Glad that a lot of you from the Jockey Club are here as well. But then all the other VV Nation for the YouTube channel is here. Thank you so much for being here. All right, Sagar. Good afternoon to you. All right. So looking at just from the home page of the software of the mobile app, we can clearly see the market's down today. The Dow is down about 0.3. The NASDAQ is down about 0.2. The S&P is down about 0.3. And wow, the VVC is down almost 1%, down 0.95%. Big move on the over 9,000 stocks that we check out. Henry says, thanks for the AVGO confirmation right before earnings, 14% return on the day. Way to go. Now I will own. How about this? I will own this. I gave the guidance that I didn't think Adobe was going to hit on either earnings or on revenue, and they made me a liar. I'll own it. When I can do good, I'll say, hey, we did great. But when it doesn't happen, I'll be the first one to say that I'll own it. And for them, just like a lot of the tech stocks, the AI stocks, they got a boost on beating the earnings because of AI. Palantir slightly up. I am in Palantir. I own 3 stocks right now. I'm in Palantir. I am in the ETF for NVIDIA, where I'm 2x leverage. And I'm in the ETF for Apple, where I'm 1.5 times leverage. So those are the only 3 that I'm holding at this time. The majority of my money is on the sidelines. As you can see, looking at what's going on today, looking at our market timing calls, confirmed the call is down, the DEW is down, the green light buyer is neutral, and the primary wave is down. So am I panicking? The answer to your question is no. I am not panicking, but I am tightening stops. As I scroll down a little bit, looking at, there's a lot more red popping up in the color guard as well, telling me it's not the time to be still buying stocks. Pneumatic says, can you go over how the GLBRT kicker works? How close are we to seeing the fire off? It's hard to do it here. I need to do it on the desktop. But the GLBRT kicker works with a green light buyer, like here on the 12th, a green light, but it would have an asterisk in it. The asterisks, we get the asterisks when we have the moving averages of RT on board. All right. So it's easier for me to show it to you on the desktop than it is to show it to you on the mobile. But I can clearly see when we have a GLBRT kicker, whether it's to the bullish side or to the bearish side, when we see a green or a red light in the color guard pricing column with an asterisk in it. And right now I do not have an asterisk. Oh, I do. On the 7th, I had the GLBRT kicker down, where I had a red light, and there's your asterisk, which was on the 7th. So the asterisk or the kicker is the moving averages on RT. Glenn loves Palantir, but he is not in love with the dang gone right. I'm not. Can you explain leverage stocks and ETFs? So Kathy, leverage means I have leverage on the play. So if I'm in a stock, an ETF like NVDL, which is 2 times leverage, and it's a bullish ETF, which means I buy that ticker symbol, NVDL, and every time NVIDIA moves up 1%, that ETF goes up 2%. It's 2 times leverage. All right, it's 2 times leverage. So not only am I bullish on NVIDIA, I'm playing it at a lower price with the ETF, and for every 1% NVIDIA goes up, that leverage makes me a little bit more money, because for every 1% NVIDIA goes up, my leverage ETF goes up 2%. Does that make sense, Kathy? All right, and the same thing for ETFs, that whether they're bullish or bearish. So that is what I'm looking for. Glenn, can I get a star search on the mobile app? Not yet. I think that's going to come to fruition when we come out with the new version of the desktop, which will, is all web-based, which means you can be able to do the same things on the desktop that you can in the mobile. Just not there yet. All right, not there yet. Here is there a Glenn Hutchins club on WhatsApp? I don't know who Glenn Hutchins is. I don't know. So, Bikramjit says, I have NVDL and FNGU to balance. And there you go. Kathy, you're welcome. Most of these chips are down today. And I think that right now, I want you guys to realize on all of these stocks that you're in right now, even to include myself, for all of you guys that are in the stocks that you're in right now. And there you go. Lee talked about the disadvantage of having NVDL, because the other side of it, the good side is it goes up 2% for every 1%. But on the downside, Kathy, I think it was Kathy. On the downside, Kathy, I assume more risk. When NVIDIA goes down 1%, NVDL goes down 2%. So I want everybody to understand right now is not the time to think that it's time to panic. We've already told you to be cautious along the way in the buying of stocks. Right now, I'm telling you to now be more defensive. Now I'm telling you to be more defensive. All right? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Type a yes or a no in the room. When you got a lot of yellow in the color guard, it's time to be cautious. All right? When you start tightening stops. When you start to see a lot more red in the color guard, this is now the time to get defensive. For those people who own a lot of these stocks that are doing well, for options, folks, you start to sell covered calls. All right? That's protection. You start selling covered calls. If you are not able to sell a covered call and you own these stocks long and you want to hedge against them, start thinking about buying puts, all right? Or put a collar around. Options is a great way to be defensive without having to get out of a stock. And I love that you can do that with contras, all right? You don't have to get out of this stock. You still like the stock long-term, but buy puts, sell a covered call, or look at contra ETFs. All right, Kentria, hold off on the stocks. I'll get you some stocks. It's now a good entry point for Palantir. Lorraine, I'm going to say, even though I own Palantir, I am being more defensive with the stock right now. I don't know, given what you see here on the homepage of the mobile app, I'm not sure it's a perfect time to start getting into any stock. And a lot of those stocks that have made so much money prior to now, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Don't be afraid to take half off the table or some off the table, or sell those covered calls on those stocks like the NVIDIAs and the Microsofts and the Apples and all of the stocks that are rising. If you know long-term they're going to do well, be defensive with those stocks. That way you do not have to get out of them. All right, so Contraya, again, could you go over some of the Canadian contras and U.S. contras today? Lisa, the only time that I do much in the way of Canadian stocks is on the Monday 6 p.m. video. Could I open up the Canadian? I could. We'll see. We'll see how much time we have. All right. How about that? We'll see how much time we have and see if I can do some work on the Canadian side today. Glenn bought a little bit of SMCI here. Oh, you did? FMCI. Let's do that real quick. I talked about that in the Jockey Club this morning. I did talk about it in the Jockey Club this morning. I want to take a look at it. Am I ready to take it now? Let's go put this in a 3-month graph. You do see the downtrend from here to where we are right now. I can't draw a trend line, but if you can just visualize a trend line on SMCI, I like the big move yesterday. That was a nice move yesterday. No follow through today. All right, no follow through today. But if I can imagine a trend line from the 3 months ago until right now, first off, David, I would wait to see if we can break through the trend line to the upside first. Does that make sense, David? And you do know, you put in there that it was an early entry. Again, nice big move yesterday. The problem is I have no confirmation of the move today. I've got no confirmation of the move today. Nadeem says, Glenn, what Apple leverage ETF do you own? I own AAPU. AAPU. Glenn, do the Celtics win tonight? No, but they do win because they play another game in Dallas. I think Dallas wins tonight's game, but they'll close it out on the next game in Boston. That's what I think is happening. SMCI has higher lows. That looks good. If you're talking about from here, does it really? It looks like it just moved sideways until this most recent up candle where it broke through that level of resistance. I don't see higher lows. I see move sideways, up day that broke through this level of resistance, and no follow through today. That's what I see. All right, John, that's what I see. And even though it broke through that level of resistance, it's now being tested as a level of support. Look at today's candle, a lot of wick at the top of it. So I got a lot more selling pressure. I got a lot more selling pressure on the stock right now. I am not a fan. And if I have the desktop, I'm looking for the SMCI to get into the fast lane. If I'm looking at it from the mobile app, I'm looking at the imaginary trend line that I could draw on here to see if we are going to go above that first. SMCI RT is crossed upward. I like a lot of the things about it. I like that the MACD just went positive yesterday with more increase today, even though it's a down day on the stock. I like a lot about it, but I want the stock to come to me. Does that make sense? All right, does that make sense? Just type a yes or no in the room. Let the stock come to you. I know that you got into it a little early, and that's fine. But I would rather to wait for the stock to come to me, especially given the current market's conditions. Think about that. Especially given the current market's conditions, I would rather to let the stock come to me rather than to jump in early. That's my 2 cents. That's my guidance. Higher lows from where it came down from the big red bar. You talk about from back here. You talk about from back here. And you are right up until here. It did make higher lows. Then it pulled down to this level of support, moved sideways. From there, I'm not surely seeing higher lows. I am not seeing higher lows from that perspective. All right, so, but I'd rather the stock to come to me. I think that fundamentally, the stock is fundamentally sound. Relative value, 1.7. Relative safety, 1.3. Relative timing, slightly above 1. Slightly. The comfort index at 1.6. I like a lot about the stocks. What's the earnings growth at 41%? What's the sales? Wow, what just happened? What's the sales growth? 200? That's huge. So I think that there's a lot that I like about SMCI. Fundamentally sound, earnings, sales growth. Love all of that. But let the stock come to me. Let the stock come to me. Time to buy Tesla. Now, I do like that the board gave him all this money. I don't know if it's time to buy Tesla yet. Same kind of scenario. Look at the graph. Over the last 3 months, it's a pretty sideways move. Big up day yesterday, big down day today, right at this level of resistance. All right. And there's the 3-month level of resistance. Another scenario where I want, I want the stock to come to me. You say 80% of the stocks move with the market. Do you consider NVDA to be in the 20%? No. All right, let's go look at NVIDIA. Do I think that NVDA, guess what? It's going to be affected. All right, is it moving? It's going to be affected. You know why it's going to be affected? As more and more people see that the market is pulling back, who's going to get out of this NVIDIA stock? A lot of people who made a lot of money. Look at this run from that level of support, that level of support, that level of support. A lot of people have made a lot of money. All right. When I looked at NVIDIA, let's say that it didn't split, it would be at $1,300. I gave a price target the second time around of $1,100. It's blown through that. It's blown through that. Who's going to take the money? The people who made a lot of money on this trade. The people who made a lot of money on this trade. And I always am of the mindset when I look at the market start to go down, and we've got a search called Ballistic New Highs Short. Stocks that are hitting new highs like NVIDIA, people start taking their money out of that. But it makes sense. It makes sense. So these stocks that have been high rising, people are going to be taking profit. So I don't think that that's the case from the, in being at 20%. I will watch and watch that NVIDIA is going to fall. That's what I think. Janice is here. Better late than never. Just got here. Hi, Janice. I know people in Boston IBD group who have NVIDIA that start buying around $5 split adjust. Listen, that's fine. All right, that's fine. But I think that this is a great stock. If the market really does take a turn to the downside, it's going to be a bad time to take advantage of a good stock. Would it be time to add to my MU position? Let's go take a look at Micron. MU. Again, same kind of scenario. New high, new 3-month high hit yesterday. Notice the 2 days of indecision over the last 2 days. The 3, the 8, and the 20 are all good. It's going to pull back to this level of support. If it breaks through that level of support, Micron is probably going to go down with the rest of the market. I'm watching the MACD on the bottom leveling out over the last 2 days. All I'm saying, again, for everybody out there who's trying to hold on and be a little greedy on your stocks, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Don't worry. If you've made money on the trade, don't fret this. Stocks go down. Stocks, Big Andret says, NVIDIA never. I hear you. Listen, I own NVIDIA. I'm up on it and I'm watching. I'm watching and waiting. Let's go look at Shopify. Let's go take a look at it. Shopify, nice little run right now. Let's go back to the graph. I do like the earnings per share, even though it's falling off a little bit. Remember, earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. So the earnings, let's go earnings growth 30%, sales growth 23%. That's all right. I'd like to have sales growth higher than earnings growth, but 30% earnings growth, I like the stock. Let's go now look at it. Nice move coming off this level of support, rising MACD. But again, given the market's conditions, let's go see if it can break. If it can break through this level of resistance, the stock's got upside at least to this level of resistance. Dang it, why can't I ever do this when I want to do this? At least to that level of resistance. But again, for all of these stocks that you're looking to get into right now, think about it. If the market looks like it wants to start to turn around, I'm not going to tell anybody out there to either add to a current position or add a new position. Does everybody understand that? All right. I love that I'm watching these stocks move from a level of support and the 3, the 8, the 20 all cross. That's all beautiful. But don't lose sight of what's going on in the market, folks. I got full on bearish on the dial. All of our major market timing signals are down. Don't try to push your agenda on a stock because you want it to go up. Does everybody understand that? Because that, if you don't get anything out of today's session, you've got to get that. That everybody, do not try to force your thinking on the market. The market don't care what you think. The market don't care that you want this stock to go up, you want to add more, and the market don't care. So just be careful, folks. I love the moves. As I'm looking at those stocks, I love the move on Shopify. Don't get me wrong. I think it looks beautiful. I love the rising momentum with the MACD. Just be careful. If we were coming off of a bottom, I'd be all over that. But that's not the case. We're not coming off of a bottom. So keep in mind what's going on in the market as you start to assume riding a stock higher. and it doesn't go higher, or adding to a position and the stock doesn't go higher. Folks, come on. I just need you to, that's the power of the program in your pocket. Understanding what's going on in the market and putting in the work to know, wait, whoa, take the emotion out. Yeah, I made some money on this stock. I think it's going to keep going up. Well, just be careful. That's all. Put options is a great way. Remember? So I said, when the market's got a lot of yellow, I'm cautious. What do I mean by cautious? When the market's got a lot of yellow, I'm tightening stops. When I'm getting a lot of red, now I'm becoming defensive. Tilu is right. Put options. Great way. Again, if you don't want to get rid of a stock, buy the put option. But you're going to take a price decline on the stock. Does the put option overcome the price decline? If it doesn't, maybe you think about getting out of the stock and then ride the puts. That way you captured the profit on the price appreciation on the stock, and now you're capturing the profit on the put going up in value because the stock goes down. Folks, it's not that hard. And if you do these kinds of things, one, you limit your losses, and two, you continue to make money no matter what the market is doing. Think about that. That's real. That's real talk. That's not pushing no agenda. That's me taking all the emotion out of the equation. When you see a lot of yellow, you're cautious. Tighten your stops. No action, no more action than that. When we get to be more red, now we become defensive. Now we start taking stocks off the table. If you don't want to take them off the table, buy a put option, sell a covered call. Those things, that way you're still owning the stock because you still know long term. But if this becomes a protracted downtrend, then those stocks that you're trying to hold on to are going to eat into your profits. Okay? Was that worth coming here today? Type a 1 or 2 in the room. Type a 2 if it was just me just talking and you don't freaking care. But if it was worth it to come here today, just using the mobile app for the purposes of that kind of understanding and how to manage your stocks, folks, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm not in the desktop. This is all in the mobile app. This is all in the mobile app. The same kind of power you have on the desktop, for the most part, you have while you're on the road, while you're out and about, while you're not tethered to your computer. That's power. That's power. All right. I'm going to go. I created a new watch list, and I think that I'm going to update on a weekly basis, called 0 Mobile Big News Stocks. These are the stocks that I've watched over the day make news. And you know something? If I've got the power of the program in my pocket and I'm around, and I'm not around by my desktop, folks, I am going to say that this is the best way to do. Oh, wait. Doesn't selling a covered call carry unlimited risk? No. G-Money. Think about this. When it comes down to options, you have a set amount of money you can lose. When it comes down to selling a covered call, I sell the call. The worst thing that can happen is that the call that I made money on, the money I made selling on the covered call doesn't come to fruition. But then you know what else happens? The stock goes up in price. So the bad side of that is you can get called away. No, I don't. The most money that I can lose on any option is whatever the money I sold and received premium for, or the premium I paid for it. That's all that you can lose. A stock can fall off the face of the earth, and the most you lose on that option is the premium you received or the premium you paid. That is it. Do we have access to your watch list? No, you do not. These are my watch lists that I've created, and I create a lot of them. But no, you do not have access to it. There are many great YouTube VectorVest videos available. Check them out. Thank you for that, Ben. One damn Glenn, that was so good. I'll have to go back and listen to it again. Wow. Thank you, John. I don't understand the put option. Where can I find this information? Oh, man. We got a lot. If you go search our channel and type in options, you can find, we've got a lot of videos on options on the channel. All right, we got a lot of, you know something? Sometimes I sit back and go, Do you guys not watch a lot of the other stuff we have on the channel? Amir says, can we see your watch list? Yeah, you're gonna. There they are. Those are my stocks that I put from the news today into, can I share it? No, I can't. Any watch list that I create is not shareable out to you guys. Unless, yeah, I'm not even going on that path. So, no. But I want you guys, remember, the power of the program in your pocket starts with watch lists, which is why I hope you guys are building watch lists so that when you are out and about, you can see things from your watch list to pay attention to. So this will be updated every Friday on stocks that make the news. Apple's in the news, SMCI again. And I noticed that, look at SMCI's got a VST of 1.38. I think a lot of people are getting ready to say, what about it? What about it? So hopefully I was able to at least let you know what to look for in SMCI. All right. Adobe beat earnings. It's going up 14.5% today. Let's go see. Can I sort this by percent price? Yep. Adobe, the biggest winner today. So out of the stocks that made the news that I put into the watch list, only one is going up. AVGO is going up. That was a good call that we did on AVGO. My most recent call on Adobe didn't work out though. Why NVIDIA is not on the list? There was nothing that was super newsworthy today that would put NVIDIA. Just because it's a hot stock, I'm looking for stocks that have, why do I have oil in it? Oil is starting to go up more and more, especially because of summer demand. Why do I have Adobe on the list? Because they beat earnings and it's going up. Why do I have Walmart on the list? Do you know that they're coming out with their own beauty line? If you knew that, type of 1. If you did not know that, type of 2. Do you know that Walmart is coming out with its own beauty line? Type of 1 if you heard that, type of 2 if you did not hear that. That's why this stock is on the list. Why is Boeing on? Boeing, the Starlink is about to disembark from the ISS. That's going to be big news for them. Apple, there was something going on with Apple, why it was in there. Tesla, Elon Musk just got that $56 billion bonus. That's big. That's why it's on the list. GME, Roaring Kitty sold off some of his options and now holds a lot more shares of it. That's why it's on the list. SMCI, there was another story on SMCI why it's on the list. So just because NVIDIA is a hot stock, just because AVGO is a hot stock, doesn't mean that it made the list. You do see it says Zero Mobile, big news stocks that made the news for the day. Boeing, if it doesn't lose any more doors in mid-flight, I think that the whole idea of the Starlink thing with Boeing is a double-edged sword. I thought that it was going to put them more in line to give them a better positive insight or outlook on the stock. We'll see how that plays out. But even with the stocks that made the news, that made my list, only 3 stocks are going up. One is going up bigly. That's Adobe at 14.68%. Oil only up 0.75%, and Walmart up. I noticed that a lot of people did not know that Walmart was putting out its own beauty line, but that's why it made the list. So no, NTFX, why should it be on the list? Listen, I went to look at the big name stocks that were out there. And just because you think that they should have made a list, this is why I'm showing you how to create this list on your own. This is how thank you, San Francisco, Chris. This is why, oh, there it is. Thank you. Sobo, SMCI is going to split. There you go. That was the reason why. All right. That was the reason why. Thank you for that. I knew there was a reason. I forgot. But I put the bigger name stocks that people know about into the list that made the news. Glenn, are oil stocks dead for good? Ooh, let's go take a look at USO. I don't know. Akshaya, you know how I feel about oil. I think that oil should be on the rise. The demand is there. The demand is going to increase going into the summer months. How much oil we use on a daily basis to accommodate the demand, just it doesn't make sense that oil should be running. Oil should be running. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Oil stocks aren't dead. I agree with that, Pennywise. I'm at my wit's end when it comes down to trying to give guidance on oil, because I give the guidance on what I think should happen. And then we just keep doing stupid crap. And it is, when you sell oil out of the strategic political reserve, that's a problem. So, and how about all of the ships that are getting the oil to bring it in? They got to go around the Cape of Good Hope and outside of it's creating a chain issue, a supply chain issue. OPEC's cutting back. I don't know why oil is not. And no, I don't think that it is a dead issue. I do like Pennywise says the hurricanes and tornadoes combined with geopolitical issues will keep oil a factor. Absolutely. I don't think it's a dead issue. I think it's just tough. I think it's just tough to try to just try to give straightforward common sense guidance, because it is definitely going against the whole idea of common sense. It really does. It does. And so I don't know. All these tech stocks are going to cause worry of a bubble, but they may just grow in there. Ben, I think that the whole AI space is beyond bubbleation. I really do. I really, really do. I think that the AI craze is only going to get bigger and better because everybody wants a bigger piece of the AI pie to give to their customers. I don't think AI goes away anytime soon, and I really don't think this is a bubble. Now, that's just me talking. But if you can watch the stocks that keep gaining and keep gaining because they've got some portion of AI in what they do, that tells me that it ain't fly by night. It ain't fly by night. And I'm with you, Bikram Jet. I think it's still just the beginning. I think it's still at its infancy. And I think NVIDIA is leading this space, followed by, AMD. Don't sleep on AMD. But, Apple. I got into Apple before the WWDC event because they were going to talk heavy about generative AI and putting it into the operating system. So, man, I don't think AI goes away no time soon. All right, good time to sell on PNC insurance companies? I don't know. Yeah, I'll take a look. Glenn, the mobile app, how often do the colors on the primary wave DEWX update throughout the day? I'm looking at real time on the mobile app, so it's really throughout the day. I've also been looking at utilities because of the growing power demand. Ooh, I've been talking about that. I've been talking about that on the channel. I got a video about alternatives to electricity. There's a video, alternative investments outside of electricity. I did a story in yesterday's live stream that talked about Google and geothermal power. Oh my goodness, that's going to be big. Google is collaborating with a company in the West somewhere where they're getting into geothermal power. Good, googly muggly. And as far as helping with the grid as well, the best clean energy, who knows what the best clean energy is out there? All right? Who knows what the best clean energy source out there? Type it in the room. Who knows what the best clean energy source is out there? Type it in the room. I want to see. I'm going to look at it. Anybody want to give? Nope. It's not even solar. It's nuclear. Nuclear is the best, cleanest, clean energy that's out there. Now, I do like solar, but the problem is with solar, a lot of the panels, 80% of the panels come from China. That sucks. Uranium, nuclear, I think that is the cleanest clean energy that's out there. The other side of it is, I think a lot of people still are against it or moving into that space a little, tenderly because it could blow up. That's bad. Did you just say soup? Soup? Clean coal, they say, is clean. Coal is dirty, but it makes up most of the electricity we use. All right. You disagree? Not nuclear? What do you think, Eugene? What do you think? I think nuclear is the best clean energy out there. First Solar, I'm big on that right now. I did a story on that First Solar. Forget what it was, but I'm big. I like First Solar as well. Depends on what you bought in mind. Power storage is the problem with green energy. Nuclear at this moment is a no-brainer option, and that's true. So that's right. Even with solar, you got to store it because when there's no sun, it still got to work, right? Nuclear energy is not that way. Nuclear energy is not that way. Small nuclear plants will rise. I think you're going to see a lot more nuclear generators than even plants. If you can go with a nuclear generator rather than a plant, it's a lot less money to have a nuclear generator than it is to build a plant around it, right? NE is big on solar. Again, I think that solar energy, the major issue is the storage. The major issue, dilithium crystals in Dyson spheres. Well, dilithium crystals are on the Starship Enterprise. I got them. The dilithium crystal is about to blow up. We got to get rid of it. Yeah, that, you know. Glenn, best is hydro. Hydro is not a, you know, I've been hearing about the water part of it. Hydro, been hearing that for you know, hydro. I've been hearing about that for a while. And just, I don't know. I don't know if it's better than nuclear. I think from a disposal perspective, hydro is better than nuclear. But I've been looking around and they are getting better in the technology for disposing of nuclear waste. It's getting better, it's getting better, it's getting better, it's getting better. All right, so, hey, let's remember Chernobyl. Don't forget about 5 Mile Island. All right, don't forget about 5 Mile Island as well. All right, so I do like hydrogen from a waste perspective, better than nuclear, but I think nuclear is still a long-term power play as far as clean energy. And Nadeem says hydro is an expensive option. Carol says, I'm laughing out loud at your Starship Enterprise comments. Listen, it's the dilithium. It's what Scotty says. It's what, it was 3 Mile Island. Thank you, David. All right, RH. Woo! Why? Talk to me, Amir. Look at the earnings. Look at the graph. It's down 18% today. Good gravy. What is this? Oh, hold on. Is this hydro? Let's go look at the stock news. Again, it's doing this all from the mobile app. Almost 18% down today. Why? Why is this? Fiscal 19 hours ago. Looked like it was earnings. Oh, looked like it was earnings. At least it's financial in a shareholder letter. Curated design, taste and style, and luxury. Oh, lifestyle market. What the hell is that? Company offers collections through its retail. I guess the earnings wasn't so good. We'll host a live conference call at 2 p.m. today. Oh, it just hasn't come out yet. Did they do bad? That's what it sounds like. Let's click on done. Let me do something. Let me go out to where I want to go. Where's my web browser? Sigh. I don't do a lot outside of the mobile app. Where's my web browser? Anybody see my web browser? It's got to be here somewhere. How do I not have a web browser?
Down to your bottom icons, just the Safari icon.
Where?
Go back to the main screen. Yeah, the very bottom.
Oh,
left,
there it is.
Next to the chat. Yep.
Holy smokes. All right. That's that. Let's go plus. Let's go to investing.com. I'm curious to know. Tools. Earnings calendar. It didn't report yet. Oh. Thursday, Friday. It don't look like it reported yet. What stock were we just looking at? Holy crap. What stock was we just looking at? None of these are updated. Oh, yeah, stop that. Go back. Close that. How come none of these are updated? That's weird. Oh, do I have to sign in? I'm not doing that. All right, anyway, it's kind of interesting. Pennywise missed on earnings. Thank you, Mark. I was trying to see that. Statistically, if using Bollinger Bands will likely bounce back. Well, I'm not using Bollinger Bands here. I wonder if I can. Oh, that's horrible. Let's go see graph settings. Let's go lower graph. Go see, do I have Bollinger Bands? I do not. MACD. I don't have Bollinger Bands, or else I would use it. Upper graph. Yeah, that's right. And then that's poopy. Got envelopes. I don't want envelopes. All right. I wanted to see if I could put Bollinger Bands. I'm just looking at that stock got hit. That stock got hit. NVIDIA, August expiration 60-day, one standard deviation 29%, payout 5 points wide. Goodness gracious. I can't do a star search on the mobile app. You know, as far as searching, let's go to what am I, screener? Yeah, I'm very, wait, hold on. Explore screens. Here's my screens. I wonder if I have a star search on here. I don't know. No, I don't have a star search on here. That kind of poopy. These are all my searches that are on the desktop that I can have on my mobile. How cool is that? So if you do want a search, I don't know if it would show up here though. I don't know if I could put this onto the desktop, save my own star search, and use it here. It's kind of interesting. I'm gonna try that though. I wouldn't mind being able to have my own version of star search on the mobile app. Yeah. I tried. I can't do a star search here. Sorry, Ramor. I like to focus on oil. So you talk about oil companies. Oil pop 6% due to Iraqi oil fire. Man, I'm just looking. I'm getting kind of fed up with oil. I just am. RH. Oh, so we were looking at RH too, weren't we? So the whole idea is they missed on a Shopify. That's not what I wanted. I wanted RH. There we go. RH. I'm not feeling that. Let's go look at fundamentally though. Relative value below 1, relative safety below. Everything is below 1. There's no reason why. And actually, when would I have gotten out of it? Man, look at that. Oof. Broke through a level of support there. Broke through another level of support here. There's no way I still would be in that stock. And who was the one that told me they were taking a beating on it? Man, it wasn't able to get past this level of resistance. I'm not a fan. USO has its turn signal on, waiting to enter the fast lane. I like that analogy, Thomas. That's awesome. Oil is too hard due to taxing dividends. I think it's more than that, Neil. RH though, I'm not feeling that, not even a little bit. Not only did it go down today, look at the MACD just went negative as well. First Solar, rocking and rolling, but you know something, if it goes below that level of support, I think about taking some of that off the table, especially if I was in somewhere back here. All right, I'd think about it. That's 2 down days after a level of indecision. A little bit of a doji and now down. The 3 and the 8 are about to cross. Watch that. 3 and the 8. What's a good oil ETF? USO, Island. You see that I watch that a lot. Steve has First Solar. Yeah, you know something, if I could draw a trend line from here, connecting that low, connecting that, that's what I'd be looking at. Even before the 3 and the 8, I'd look at a trend line that I can put onto the desktop. Drawing that trend line, it's right there. It's right there. You know something, if it breaks below the trend line today, I'd probably take it off the table. Not only that, look at MACD just went negative. XOM, let's go look at XOM. XOM. That's not an ETF though. Wow, that's getting beat up like nobody's business. Goodness gracious. Broke through a level of support here. The 3, the 8, and the 20. Look at that. The 3, the 8, and the 20 all went negative right here on 522. That was a big sign right there. They all went negative. That was a great way to get out. That was a great way to get out. Wow. I don't feel that. TWM. And again, I don't mind showing you these things because I want you guys to understand what you're looking at so that you can make a better decision. XLE is an energy ETF. I don't call it, I mean, I guess you could put it together. Right now, I'm looking at TWM. Watch that level of resistance. Let's see if we can get above that before I go take that. Let's see if we can get it. Look at it, broke through today. It broke through today, but look at that. It's holding that line. MACD is positive. I do like the retracement off this level of support, but it's having a hard time getting through that level of resistance. Looking at Meta, XLE. Let's go look at XLE Energy. That's a good ETF, though. I don't call that just all oil. Look at that. And again, a lot of these stocks are giving you or telling you the picture. It really is. And you want to, oh, well, what do you do? Well, it's going down. What do you mean, what do I do? What do you mean? Going down. Lisa gave me a stock. What stock did you just give me? Was it TWM? Yeah, TWM. I'm not feeling that. Let's go look at TWM on the Russell as well. I need it. Oh, we just looked at that. I need it to break above that level of resistance. I like the move off that level of support, right there. I look at it. It broke through, but just let it come to you. Gosh, if nothing else, folks, if nothing else, no matter what you think about a stock, let the stock come to you. Let the stock come to you. VRTX. And again, all of this analysis is right off the mobile. I do like the move. Look at that. Leveling out. The 3 and 8 is positive. I would put a trend line, a level of support right at the bottom of that candle. Right at the low, about 472.61. It's about $10 away from where it is right now. I would love to see if the stock can go up above that level of resistance. Right now, bottom left, top right from this level of support, the 3D8 cross. Look at that. Beautiful move. Broke through resistance. Tested it as a level of support. It held. Look at that run back up. Again, I'd put a level of support right at the low of 472.61. $10 away. If you're in it, leave it alone. If I'm not in it, though, I'm looking at 12 cents higher than the high. AVAV. Hold on. And also on VRTX. Let's go take a look at this. Fundamentally, is it sound? Sigh. Where's my indicators? Fundamentally, RVRS, RT, this stock is fundamentally sound. I like it long term. I like it the way it is right now. Ooh, baby, I like it like that. I like it like that. I like the play. But be careful about what's going on in the market. Glenn, sometimes I will put in a low bid for the week or 2 weeks when I'm at bottom fishing. Is that a good tactic? No, let the stock, when it's time for the stock to go up, even in a downtrending market, just wait. NVO, no, is that Novo Nordisk? NVO, yeah, I like that. It's a good drug company. I like this along with Eli Lilly, especially in the GLP-1 space. GLP-1 is driving the stock higher. I would look at this level of support, the 3D8 and the 20. Watch the MACD, though, starting to let you know that this is losing some momentum. Look at that MACD. That MACD is telling you something. It's still above 1. It's still positive, but watch it as losing some momentum. Just be careful with that. I'd put a trend line, a support line right at the low of 141.02. All right, it's not a lot, but you know something, given the market's conditions, that's what I'm looking for. AVAV, let's go take a look at that. AVAV environment. That's a drone company. In the aerospace and defense, I like the play. You know something? On this graph, I would strictly use the 3 and the 8. Look at that. The 3 and the 8 has done a good job by itself without any level of support or nothing. The 3 and the 8, end of day, have done a good time. When the 3 falls below the 8, that's probably your time to get out. Now, I am looking at the MACD. The MACD did go slightly negative, I believe. But you know something? This, historically, just looking at AVAV, watch the 3 and the 8. Earnings is on June 26th. I may do a video on it. AVAV MACD is all the way at the bottom. That's on my bottom graph with the orange line and the blue, with the teal and black line. You know why I know it's teal? When I got married the second time, I got married in a teal tuxedo. Could you imagine your Uncle Glenn getting married in a teal tuxedo? I got married in a teal tuxedo. That's how come I know it's teal. I like the move in the stock. It's down about 0.75% today. Let's go look. You said look at the EPS. Ooh, the EPS is still at 2.34. It's still higher than it was 3 months ago. It is falling. Where's the sales and earnings? Sales growth 39%. Earnings growth. It's, you know something. They're able to sustain their earnings. Yes, it's falling, but they're selling enough. All right, they're selling these drones. They're selling enough for the earnings to be sustainable. All right, they're saving enough. NNE is a nuclear microreactor. Nuclear, what is that? NNE microreactor. It's not been out a long time. This is all the data I have on it. I like the idea. It's up 18.46%. I'd keep my eye on this. I probably don't have enough data for it to really truly give me a true sense of RVRSRT. It's going up in price. That's number one. Fundamentally, I can't show what it is just quite yet, but it is going from the bottom left to the top right. It is going from the bottom left to the top right. I like this play enough that I would keep it on my radar. CMG split coming up. It needs to. Who's spending all this money for a freaking burrito? $3,200. You know, they need to do more than a 10-to-1. And I think what they're doing is a 50-to-1. Somebody back me up on that. I think they're doing a 50-to-1 split. This stock is way too expensive for a company that sells burritos. This is the most expensive freaking burrito in the freaking world. What year was that? Teal tuxedo given. It was the 90s. It was the 90s. When did I got married somewhere my second time. It's somewhere it was in the 90s. Yeah, it's 50-to-1. It's $3,000 for it. It is 50-to-1. It needs to be 100 to freaking 1. That's too much money but it's the best one. Listen. My wife can make better burritos than Chipotle. They do make tacos. If I want tacos, I go to Taco Bell. But the guac is tasty. I don't like guac. I don't like avocado. I don't like, but they need that. The stock is killing it though. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Let's go back to the earnings. The company makes money. You know, fundamentally sound, relative value above 1, relative safety. The stock is fundamentally sound. Let's look at the sales growth, 14%, earnings growth, 21%. They're growing their earnings. People is buying. I don't know. They poisoned their burritos. Stop that. They didn't poison nothing. Not on purpose anyway. I didn't poison nothing, not on purpose. Home cooking is the best. Damn right it is. What did Jazz say? Jazz says they should give free burrito to stockholders at that price. I agree. I agree. CMG is healthier than a taco. I'm not going to say yes or no. Glenn, were you a math major? No. If I have to go past 20 where I've got to take off my shoes and socks, I'm screwed. Annette is killing it right now. ANET. Let's go take a look. Wow, that's another good looking stock. $327. Wow, right at a 3-month high yesterday. Let's go look at it fundamentally and analyze it. RV above 1, fundamentally sound, good RT, good CI. Let's go look at sales growth 16, earnings growth 23. More earnings growth than sales growth, and it's okay. Yeah, but when the wife wants a break, my wife wants a break. I'm the one my wife is all about, baby, I'll make dinner tonight. Baby, I'll make dinner tonight. I'd be like, baby, you ain't making dinner tonight. I'm putting my foot down. We're going out. My wife says, okay, husband. That's how that works. That's how that works. So I let my, when it's okay, I don't need my wife to cook for me every day. and she's willing to do it, but I don't need her to cook for me every day. Sometimes we got to go out. I don't need it in that. No. So, Kava's another $89, another food company. Glenn, what's your plan for Father's Day? Do you grill? Yes. And guess what? My wife and my kids got me a new smoker. That's the only thing I was missing. I got a charcoal grill. I got a natural gas. I got a propane flat top. So I've got, what is my flat top? What is the main? Blackstone. I got a Blackstone flat top. And now I got a charcoal grill / smoker. Just got it yesterday. I'm not looking forward to putting it together though. That thing is freaking heavy. That thing is super freaking heavy. And so now I got two grills, two charcoal grills. Now one is a smoker and my flat top. I love cooking. I love cooking. And I cook every opportunity that I get. Ramon said barbecue at Glenn's. Come on down. I'll cook for everybody. But the first thing I want to smoke in my smoker is a brisket. First thing I want to do is smoke a brisket. Do you make your own barbecue sauce? Yeah, it's called Baby Ray's. Now I'll throw my own little hot sauce in there, throw some honey in there. I will take the base of Baby Ray's and throw some stuff in it and make my own. But it all starts with Baby Ray's. All right. I'm probably going to grill a couple of ribeyes this weekend. I'm thinking about making some kind of hibachi rice with some sausage, steak, and chicken and shrimp. Yeah. I'm thinking this all out. Woo-wee. Glenn, can you look at TPCs? Not everybody wants to listen about my grilling, and that's all right with that. You guys are here to make money. That's why I'm looking at all your stocks. TPC, let's go back. 1 year looks good on the 1 year graph, bottom left, top right. Love the breakout. And now it pulled back a little bit. I'd look at this low of $19.15 as a solid level of support. The 3, the 8, and the 20 are all in play. I'd like to see it take out that level of the 3-month high before I pull the trigger on it if I'm not already in it. When would I've gotten out of it? When the 3-8 crossed right about here, I would have taken that profit off the table, which was at 2063. Again, I'm looking to draw a support line right here at the low of 1915. Nice up day today. MACD went negative with the big pullback. I do like the nice up day today, but I'm looking to see that it gets above that level of resistance before I get into it. Glenn, we already looked at Hasib. We already looked at Micron today. Shouldn't you take it easy and let your wife or kids grill? Nobody touches my grill. It's my grill. Nobody touches my grill because they're going to do it wrong. They can all cook in the kitchen and all that kind of stuff. Do not touch my grills. Okay? That's how that goes. What time is it? Right at 12:58. Again, today, excuse me. Today, I like, and you guys let me know, I like the way we are currently doing the Fridays live stream with the purposes of looking at what's going on in the market, but getting into your stocks a lot more than a lot of stuff that I can show you. I think that you guys have been here long enough to know a lot of the power, but I bring that to the forefront as well. Are you guys liking this format rather than me planning out what we're going to show? Yes or no? Because I can go through and show you the watch list, show you the portfolios, show you the stock pick ideas. And do you guys like this format better? Because I like being able to talk about what's going on in the market, show you how to use the color guard to do the right things. A lot of yellow means cautious. A lot of red means defensive. These kinds of things are important. Wow. These kinds of things are important before you make decisions. Should I add to my stocks? Let's take a look at the stock. And my guidance will be based upon what's going on in the VectorVest. SKX. Skechers, SKX. Let's go take a look at it. I like the move on the 1 year graph. I like the earnings per share. I like Sales growth 12%, earnings growth 17%. It's keeping up. Fundamentally, it is sound. Let's go look at it right now. Pulling back. Watch the 3 and the 8. Notice that as it was running from this level up, I would, on the 3 and the 8 crossing end of day to the downside, I would pull that off the table. I'd pull that off the table. So pneumatic, when you say do both parts, both formats, it's tough because I've got to concentrate on one or the other. The one side, even just going through all of the things over here, and it's tough to do both in an hour. That's the problem, pneumatic. It's tough to do both in an hour. Sell ship. I own ship. Sorry. I don't know what is in my throat. Ship. I own ship. I got stop on ship. Ship and oil for me go hand in hand, as oil should go up in price along with everything that's going on. Ship, and I'm probably thinking about pulling the trigger on it. The 3, the 8, and the 20, I probably should have been out of it here on 6/11, which was a few days ago, which was 3 days ago. How much time? I'm probably thinking about pulling out of it today based upon what I see. I know that today I do have a lot of buying pressure, but I've made some money. I don't want to give it all back. The 3, the 8, and the 20 cross, I should have been out of it 3 days ago. And I fell into that whole emotional thing. So we'll see. AAPU, I'm still in AAPU. When should you take profit on it? Let's go take a look. Son of a gun, why do I always do that? AAPU, I'm fine on it. How about a level of support drawn at 31.91? I think that's a good opportunity to get out. Or look at the prior day's low. The prior day's low is at 31.83. If the stock keeps going up in price, why not just use the prior day's lows, like right here? Today might be a good day because the low today is 33.11. Yesterday's low was 33. Yep. Today, based upon looking at the prior day's low, AAPU might be a good way to get out. Might be a good day to get out. Does that make sense? Who asked me that? Whoever just who asked me about AAPU? Whoever just did. I like that idea. Go off the prior day's low. And if that's the case, today may be the opportunity to take AAPU off the table. Don't push your agenda on the market or a stock. Niles, that's true. I think that based upon what I just saw, I'm probably thinking about taking AAPU off the table. If any of you trade ICs or spreads, check NVIDIA. The implied volatility, 49. Ryan did a great video last night on all of the option plays on NVIDIA. Right? So I gotta go. What brokerage do you use for NVIDIA? I'm using Schwab. All right, I gotta go. Folks, today was a good day. Today was great conversation. We still got 138 people here. Today was a great conversation. So thank you for staying to the end. I'm not going to look at any more calls, any more stocks. I'm going to leave for today. Let you guys go and get ready for the weekend. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Happy Father's Day to you, Koo. All right. Thanks for being here as well. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so. Hit the subscribe. This is what we do on all of our live streams. Hit the subscribe button. If you like the content you saw, we only got 65 likes. I like to see at least 100 likes. There's no reason, with all of the guidance that we give, all the fun that we have, all of the stocks that we look at, I looked at a lot more than your likes today. All right. I did look at a lot more than your likes, but let's see if we can get it up to 100 likes before we leave. If we don't, we don't. If we do, that'd be great. All right. Should we keep our stocks going into next week? Amir, what did I talk about? Today? We got a lot of red in the color guard. What are you looking at? You're looking to be defensive. Defensive means maybe you take some of those stocks off the table. Defensive means maybe you sell a covered call. Defensive means maybe you buy a put. That's what you're looking at going into next week because of the red. There's a difference between looking at a lot of yellow in the color guard and the difference between looking at a lot of red in the color guard. A lot of red, be defensive. All right. So with that being said, folks, we got to go. 137 in the room, only 65 likes. It is what it is. Listen, we got 75 now. With that, I got to go. Folks, have a great weekend. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. I am praying for all my peeps in Florida. A lot of rain down there. And I'm praying for all my peeps in the West with all the high temperatures. A lot of stuff going on. All right. Odabu, bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until next week, folks, get pumped for Father's Day. Go grill. See ya.
Hey, Glenn, click on stop streaming.
Click on it.
Yeah.
Oh, you need me to click on it?
Yeah.